So you got the easy guy.
And we're back for the 11U matchup. The Tamarac Cougars versus the Boynton Beach Bulldogs.
Ooh, and Adam, we might be in for a good one, so I'm told, as the Bulldogs are the defending champions. They're wearing their red helmets, gray uniforms with red numbers. But meanwhile, the other team here in the Navy helmets, Navy uniforms, and yellow numbers is looking to knock them off, as they played them last year in the championship and beat them earlier this year.
Yeah, we were just saying before the game, the two teams were barking at each other before they even got on the field.
Yeah, we'll see how this one plays out, as we are set to get underway momentarily.
And so kickoff is up, and we are underway in this one. And that ball taken in at the 40-yard line, and he is met immediately. And Boynton Beach takes over 1st and 10.
He looked like he had the ball and then wanted to run up, get up and run with it, but he slipped again. And then that's when the defender came right towards him.
And so the defending champs, the Boynton Beach Bulldogs, going to have the first possession of this game. And here we go. It's Norwood at quarterback. And Cougars will jump off sides to start this game.
Yeah, not what you wanted if you're on the Cougars. An early penalty, giving the Bulldogs an extra free 5 yards to start their drive.
And not what you want to do if you want to knock off the defending champs and your rivals, as it appears to be. And play action. Quick throw over the middle. And incomplete. A little too much on that one.
When he had him, he would have been going to the house had that ball been a little bit shorter.
And that ball was intended for number 7, Carl Thomas. And so bring up 2nd and 5 now. For the Bulldogs. And Young will get his first carry, but he is met in the backfield.
Good job by this Cougars defense. Despite the one penalty, they get right in the backfield and give Young nowhere to go and any chance to make any moves.
So this brings up 3rd and 7 now for the Bulldogs. Excuse me, that was actually Anderson on the carry. And that ball is handed off to the outside on a jet sweep. He's got some room, and it'll be brought down close to a 1st down marker.
I think he should have it. Should be enough for a 1st down, just shy of that 45-yard line. A good run there from the Bulldogs. Look to try and get a drive going.
Twins on both sides for the Bulldogs. And we're going to have a stoppage before the play.
False start. Going to go against the Bulldogs.
And already seeing some more passing. And I've been saying this all day. We've been talking about how we get older, the more pass plays there's going to be. And so they're backing up to 1st and 15. They're having a tight split here, the receivers. One man set in motion, so we hand it off to him. And trying to race to the outside, but is brought down in the backfield. That was Jamarcus Lewis.
And that's really interesting, Adam, because if you could see there, the defense was trying to move some players around, and they kind of ran into each other. But despite that, still got deep into the backfield and took them down for a big loss.
Yeah, so they're going to call this about 2nd and 22. So 2nd and long. Lewis in motion again. Now it goes back the other way. And back again. And gonna give it to Anderson. Anderson up the middle, gets a block. And is taken down across the 50-yard line.
Getting just back about to that original line of scrimmage. Turn this into a 3rd and 11.
Yep, 3rd and 11 in opponent territory for the Bulldogs. And they get him the jump off sides again.
An encroachment on the Cougars will push them back. And this now becomes a much shorter 3rd down.
And I'll make it a 3rd and 6 now. And hand off to Anderson. Anderson trying to stiff arm a man. And is brought down just inside the 40-yard line. That was actually Thomas on the carry. And bring up 4th down for the Bulldogs.
Already under 4 minutes to go here. Drive moving pretty quickly.
And hand off to Thomas again, and he's got the 1st down. Runs over a man to end off that run. And he's got a Bulldog 1st down.
Yeah, just powered his way through those defenders to pick up the 1st, and they are continuing to move the chains here early on their 1st possession.
And right back to him on 1st down. And he'll only pick up a couple on that one.
You know, Adam, even in those small runs by Thomas, you know, they can be key runs. It makes the much shorter 2nd and 3rd down plays. So even though they're not highlight reel runs, it's been, you know, really helpful for this Bulldogs offense on their opening possession.
And we're gonna have a stoppage here. Anderson back in the backfield for the Bulldogs.
Looks like a player lost their gloves. Those have been picked up.
And Norwood will play action to keep it himself. Bounces it to the outside, but is wrapped up after no gain.
Yeah, well, it was still a good read there, though, because if he would have given it to his back, there were a couple of defenders right in the Bulldogs' face. And that could have gone for a loss.
And the Bulldogs are going to take a timeout. 2:28 left in the opening quarter. We are still scoreless.
Of course, we'll take this time to remind you that today's stream is sponsored by Quick Cut, a better platform at a better price. If you'd like a professional highlight made for your son or grandson, go to quickcut.com. There is a purple box at the top of the homepage. Click that and fill out the form. And these highlights make a great Christmas gift with the holidays right around the corner. Quick Cut is now videotaping for over 900 teams in the state of Florida. Quick Cut would like to thank the AYFL for choosing them to broadcast today's games.
So out come the teams on 3rd and 7. And we have another stoppage.
And a flag on the
false
play.
start.
Yeah, false start against the Bulldogs, so that'll push them back 5 yards. So what was a more manageable third down is now turned into another third and long.
And Norwood will hand to Anderson. Anderson plunges through the middle, but only grabs a couple, and it'll be a 4th and 10.
Big fourth down coming up. Cougars trying to get off the field and stop what has been a pretty solid Bulldogs first opening possession.
Yeah, we were talking about it last game, about how long these possessions been taken. And we're under 2 minutes left in the first quarter. And offense is still on the field for the Bulldogs. So 4th down, Norwood looking to throw. Looks over the middle, but incomplete. And that'll be a turnover on downs. The Cougars will take over.
Now we'll get to see this Cougar offense come out here for the first time and see what they're able to do as the defense comes up with a big stop and holding this Bulldogs offense to no points after they had a promising drive to start things off. They do take just about the whole entirety of the first quarter, though, only 1:36 remaining.
Here's Roden Jr., and he'll take his offense out there. And almost fumbles the snap there, and he's just going to go down right where he is. So that's going to be 2nd and 10 now. Not a first play you would want as a Cougar right now. And he'll hand it off, bounces it to the outside, and is dragged down. And that was Carson Jr. on the carry. And he'll get about 4 yards on that play. Bring up 3rd and 6.
You know, this Bulldogs defense would love to get a quick stop and get their offense right back onto the field. The Cougars will need a big play, try and open things up. They've been sticking with the run game. Let's see if they maybe try to float one downfield here on 3rd and 6.
And Roden drops back. Quick play to the outside. It's a screen play. It's caught. And he's got a blocker and stiff-arming somebody. And he's close to a first down marker.
I think he's going to be a little bit short, though. So decision time, of course, for the coaches. We 4th and 1, depending on the spot.
So Watkins on the catch and run. And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter.
Officials talking right now. And now it looks like they're going to go ahead and start to walk over to flip the field.
And we are back to start the second quarter now on 4th and 1 for the Cougars. And they've got a big man in the backfield for the Cougars. And be a quick handoff up the middle, and he's got the first down.
And it looks like, well, they might have marked him just short. No, now it looks like they're moving the chain. So it will be a first down for the Cougars.
So McDonald and Kaysen will check back in.
You know, Adam, looking down into this crowd right now, you can see a bunch of fans on the fence, not only in the bleachers, but also hanging on the fence with their eyes all on this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got a flag before the play. And that'll back the Cougars up 5. Ball will be handed off again and hit hard. He'll get a gain of about 6, make it 2nd and 9. And they'll mark him 2nd and 8. Pushing 6 minutes in the second quarter. And that sun is coming out again, this time facing us.
Decided to make a quick little appearance.
And Roden looking to drop back, but he is met in the backfield immediately, and that's going to be a sack.
Oh, what a great job by the Bulldogs defense, breaking through that offensive line and giving the quarterback no time to react and bringing him down to the backfield for a big loss.
That's going to make it 4th and long now. Or 3rd and long, excuse me.
It was so dark down here, Adam. That sun really brightened up a part of the field they're standing in currently.
Yeah, it definitely did. One man set in motion, and he's going to get in on a jet sweep. Running to the outside, but is tripped up in the backfield. That was number 6, Bellet.
Good stop there by the Bulldogs defense, and they will be able to get their offense back out onto the field, as they're going to have to punt this ball away.
.430 and rolling in the second quarter. And again, another quick one. We're almost halfway through this quarter. They're going to shift the formation. They'll still punt it away. And one's going to drop about the 50-yard line. And he stopped at the 46. So the Bulldogs will take over their own territory. We get a second look at that Bulldog offense following the punt by the Cougars. And Gamage is going to be at quarterback for this play. And one man set in motion. And we're going to have a false start before that play can happen.
A couple of false start penalties on the Bulldogs here early in this game. That'll push them back and make it a 1st and 15.
So I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Gamage in the backfield now at quarterback. And we're going to have a water break.
Water break timeout with 4:02 remaining in the half. Bulldogs still looking for our first points of the game.
Yeah, even though it's been fairly defensive so far, each team has put up a solid drive.
The AYFL is one of the premier youth football leagues in Florida, a great board that puts their best interest in the kids, great coaches, and some of the best athletes in the state. For any of you high school football players or coaches, Quick Cut has added a recruiting tool to the Quick Cut platform. This allows athletes and coaches the ability to connect with any college program in the U.S.
That ball will be given to Anderson. Anderson has a hole, and the flag is down, but for the moment he has a first down and more. He breaks another tackle. Stiff arms the man, is still going. And breaks him one more. No, it's brought down at the 1 yard line, but this one might be coming back.
Oh, wow. I mean, even if it is, what a run there by Anderson. He had like 4 guys around him and then broke out of the pile, then threw a defender down to the ground and nearly got into the end zone. And it is going to be a hold against the Bulldogs, so this one's coming back.
Yeah, and so what's interesting about that, we've had 3 different quarterbacks in the game already for the Bulldogs, between Norwood, Gamage, and Askins. Of course, Askins and Gamage only handed it off, but with that hold, it'll back them up.
That is a kind of a gift for the Cougars, as that could have been very bad for them, and an unfortunate turn of events for the Bulldogs, as they would be 1 yard away from going up and getting the first points of this game.
And we're going to have a stoppage, and the Cougars will take a timeout. 3:42 left in the second.
Adam, I was just informed by our cameraman who was at this game last time for the championship, is that it was a low-scoring game. There wasn't any scores until the fourth quarter, and we're kind of seeing a repeat of that here in this one.
Yeah, we are. Going in the second, close to the end of this first half. No score yet. We almost saw one there, but unfortunately it got called back. And
don't forget, if you'd like to purchase all your games this season, Quick Cut will email links to all of your games that you can keep forever. Just go to quickcut.com and click on the marketplace to purchase your season's game. It's only $50 and it's a great stocking stuffer.
so here's Askins at quarterback. And he'll hand it off, but met in the backfield immediately is Kyrell Thomas. Still pushing, though, and he'll actually turn that into a 1 yard gain.
Yeah, but still sits up a 2nd and 14. So they'll need to pick up some big yardage. I'm going back to that same play that you had for Anderson on that near huge touchdown run.
Yeah, they've been mixing the backfield up quite a bit. 2 running backs and 3 quarterbacks we've seen so far. And Askins will trot back out there and give his team the play call. Man set in motion, and he'll get it. There's Anderson. Anderson to the outside, and is brought down. Almost looks like a horse collar, but it's still going to bring up 3rd and long.
Anderson's been impressive for the Bulldogs, and I would imagine they might try to rely on him a little bit throughout this game.
Yeah, that is not a bad assumption at all. So here's the Bulldog offense, 3rd and long. We have not seen Askins throw it yet. He might here. And he's going to keep it himself. Defender on the ground and falls at the 50-yard line.
It was a pretty good fake as well, because we had a couple of defenders tackling one of the other players down at the line of scrimmage.
And they're going to get the Cougars to jump off sides, and this will make it a manageable 4th down.
Oh, we've seen a couple penalties going the Bulldogs against the Bulldogs, and now one that goes against the Cougars. They're making it, what, a 4th and 2, it looks like?
And it will. And Askins going to keep it himself up the middle. Flag is down. Under a minute left in the half. And this one's going to back the Bulldogs up. And still be 4th down.
There's just 49 seconds remaining in this half. Both these defenses playing well to start this game. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a repeat of last year's championship.
Looks like it. 30 seconds left to go in the half. Trying to draw him off sides again, no go. And coach giving a signal to the quarterback. We're under 10 seconds left, and we've got to delay a game.
I think they might have called a timeout before the flag.
And I guess they did. The back judge said it was a delayed game, but sideline referee calls it a timeout.
7 seconds remaining, so we'll have time for one more play.
And it'd be interesting to see if Askins will throw it here. He hasn't yet. Been in for most of this drive.
The key here is just not to make a big mistake. Only 7 seconds left. You're at midfield. It's going to be tough to score.
Yeah, they might just want to take this scoreless half instead of trying something and it goes the wrong way. And they'll break the huddle quickly, and they've got a man under center. Somebody set in motion, and the one under center kept it himself. He's still going. But he will be short of the first down marker, and that'll bring us to halftime. Still scoreless. welcome you back to the second half. 11U championships, and Tamarac Cougars and the Boynton Beach Bulldogs still scoreless. And we are set to start the second half.
Adam, a pretty fun first half so far. Even though we don't have any score on the board, both these teams making some big plays on offense and defense. And we're waiting to see who can try and get the first points on the board. You can definitely feel, though, that these two teams are excited to play each other and want to come away with a win.
Indeed they do. So the Cougars back deep to receive. And that's Jonathan Rivers. And kicking off for the Bulldogs will be Tyrell Gamage. And the second half is underway. And the ball taken in at the 15-yard line. Trying to find somewhere to go with it. And he's not going to get much on that.
A short return there, but we'll see if either of these offenses now can get a good drive together and punch one into the end zone so we can get our first points of the game.
So Cougars will start at their own 30-yard line. And Roden will lead his offense. Bella and McDonald just checked out of the game.
Interesting one-on-one matchup down here on that near sideline.
Yeah, it's Jones down here for the Cougars as that ball. And Rendon was looking to go somewhere with it, but had nowhere to go, and there's a flag down.
And you want to talk about a size mismatch there. There was a golden opportunity to go deep down the left sideline. All you have to do is get it a little bit high.
Yeah, it looked like he was looking there for a second, but obviously had some pressure on him. And that penalty's going to be on the Cougars, and I'll back them up for 1st and 15. Or excuse me, 2nd and 15. And they've got 3 backs back there. They got the big men back there. And looking to throw is Roden. And it is caught. He's got Kaysen on the sideline. Makes a man miss and is across the 45.
Oh, what a hurdle there to get over the defender and pick up a first down. Defender tried to go low, and he said, all right, I'll just go right over top. You know, we heard a lot of big cheers from these crowds today, but I've heard a lot of boos in this one.
Yeah, we definitely have.
Had a couple of big, either big hits or a couple big plays running down the sidelines, but nothing that's turned into a touchdown quite yet. Oh, and now a flag before even they got set.
And that one again is on the Cougars. So right back to 1st and 15 after getting the first down. And one-man set in motion. Here's Roden to throw. Has pressure. And throwing, and that's going to fall incomplete. That ball hit the ground before it got to his hand.
Yeah, I definitely think it was incomplete. Cougars thought they caught that, but looked like it hit the ground.
Yeah,
and we have an injured player down for the Bulldogs.
That ball was intended for Bellett. It's a little low, had some pressure, but
Today's stream sponsored by Quick Cut, a better platform at a better price. If you'd like a professional highlight made of your son or grandson, you go to quickcut.com. There's a purple box at the top of the home page. Check it, click it, and fill it out. These highlights make a great Christmas gift with the holidays right around the corner. Quick Cut is now videotaping for over 900 teams in the state of Florida, and Quick Cut would like to thank the AYFL for choosing them to broadcast today's games. And of course, the AYFL is one of the premier youth football leagues in Florida, a great board that puts their best interest in the kids, great coaches, and some of the best athletes in the state.
and that Bulldog player is still down.
Again, one of the part of the games that you just hate to see. Hopefully he's okay. Oh, he just looked to be a little shaken up. And AYFL members and both sides of the coaching staff helping him up now, and he's onto his feet and heading off. So good to see that he's walking off on his own power there.
That was Jordan Foreman there. Glad to see him okay. And we will resume the action. 6:40 left in the third. Cougars in possession of the ball still. And so Roden's going to take this snap under center. And they got him off sides. And they're going to get their 5 yards back if they get a 2nd and 10.
Big encroachment penalty there. Still, Adam, we have not seen anybody get too close down to the goal line. The biggest play we saw was one that was eventually called back because of a penalty.
Yeah, Anderson's huge run earlier was called back as of a holding penalty. And Roden will hand off to Kaysen. Kaysen cuts it upfield, and he's got himself a solid gain there on 2nd down.
We're pretty close to that 1st down yard marker as well, so 3rd and short coming up.
And I tell you, that kid's got some speed. Certainly showed it there. And this will make it 3rd and 2. And this one will be handed off again. Cuts back across the field, and he's got a 1st down. And that's Kaysen again on the run.
Good thing there were a couple Bulldog defenders close to him, or else he could have gotten to the outside and had a lot of room to work with.
Yeah, we definitely just saw the speed he had on that last play.
But either way, they do pick up the 1st down and keep the chains moving.
And now from the opponent 40 is the Cougars. And another solid drive for them. Still scoreless. We're approaching the 5-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. And so under center is Roden. He's going to play action. He's going to fall in the backfield. And we've seen the turf today take many victims.
He took the words right out of my mouth. He slipped and then had no chance to get away from an incoming defender. And it feels like they've all been right near midfield as well, Adam, where we've seen a couple players slip.
Yeah, really interesting to see that.
And we did mention it was kind of wet this morning, although we've had a lot of sun in the, midday. You think that all would have dried up by now.
Yeah, you think we'd be all right about 5 o'clock our time. Sun's been out for quite a bit now. Now, there was some ice dumped onto the field earlier from a celebration with the coaches, but there's Roden again, dropping back, looking to throw. He's looking deep, and it is caught. That was Watkins on the catch, and they got the first down inside the 20-yard line.
Number 27, he slipped as well and kind of fell down. The throw was actually behind him, and then because the defender went down, he was able to come back and make that catch. Adam, I think if he stays on his feet, that might be either an incomplete pass or an interception.
Yeah, probably. But the Cougars now have a red zone drive going for them. And that ball is handed off, driving forward. And he's got himself a couple yards there. That's Flowers, the second on the carry. And that'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Cougars. Right on the 15-yard line. And we could possibly see the first score of the game on this drive. And so Cason's back there by himself. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Roden's under center. And he'll hand it to Cason, though. Hey, Cason up the middle, and he's got himself another first down. 2:39 left in the third. And rolling. And we're going to have a stoppage, and the Bulldogs are going to take a timeout.
Big chance here for the Cougars to take advantage and punch one in to get the first points of the day. And it kind of feels like, Adam, in this one, it goes back to where we had, what we had in the first couple of games where, that first touchdown was the one that ultimately won the game. Because we've had a lot of defensive plays in this one.
Indeed we have. And mainly been defensive all day. Of course, there was a Wildcat game that had 27 points, and that was the most scored by any team today. We're still scoreless, approaching the 2-minute mark in the third quarter. And ball handed again to Carson, but he is met in the backfield, and they'll say, again, maybe half a yard on that. And excuse me, I meant to say Cason on the run. And that brings up 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line.
They may be close, but these 7 yards can sometimes be the hardest to get. And we've seen a lot of teams today take some penalties when in these goal situations. So we'll see if they can avoid that.
And another carry by Carson, but he'll get to the 5-yard line and make it a 3rd and goal. But yeah, you're right. We were seeing them earlier. We saw some fumbles when teams had great drives going into the red zone. But Cason's been looking solid so far. And the Cougars take a timeout.
Trying to make sure they can get this play set up correctly. Although, you know, you have to wonder if those timeouts are going to come back to bite them a little bit if this game comes down to the wire and they don't have those timeouts to use.
Yeah, both teams using a timeout in this quarter. And we're to a minute 24 in the third. And the Cougars are on the closest to scoring that any team has been so far this game. And here comes the 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. So 3 backs in the backfield again for the Cougars. And it's going to be a play action. Roden throws to the end zone and it's caught! And that's the first touchdown of the game.
Yeah, a big touchdown right there. Receiver rolls out to this right. Quarterback keeps his eyes downfield as he's moving. And a good throw to keep his receiver's feet moving to get that first touchdown. And they now lead it 6-0.
And that was his man Cason on the catch. And he is going to score that touchdown running or catching it.
They will now get set to line up for that extra point. We haven't seen many successful tries today. We'll see if we get our first on this one.
And kick is up. And it's going to be no good. So it still remains 6-0.
That one looked like it had the power, but it was just kicked a little high, so the distance is not enough. And now the Bulldogs will have a chance to try and respond.
That was Dawson Monroe on the kick. Ends up no good. And the Cougars will now kick off and see if the Bulldogs can respond to that Cougar touchdown. So here's Thames to kick it off for the Cougars. Sorry, that's going to be Peters to kick it off for the Cougars. And I'm going to correct myself one more time. That's Samuel.
Sunny's in your eyes.
Hard to see these numbers, these yellow numbers from the sun's in your eyes. And ball's taken in around the 40-yard line. And he's across the 50. And it's still going, and it's finally brought down across the 35-yard line. And that was Thomas on the return. And here's a Bulldog. First down from the opponent 35-yard line. And they've got some good field position to see if they can respond to that Cougar touchdown. And so this can be Norwood backing that quarterback like how we started the game. Ball is handed off up the middle. And Anderson's got a 1-yard gain.
1-yard gain now, setting up that 2nd and 9. 1:04 remaining in this third quarter. Bulldogs would love a big drive here to try and tie this game up. You don't want to give it back to the Cougars offense, who's going to have a lot of confidence, especially if they can get a stop here after scoring a touchdown.
And here's Norwood. He'll hand it off. He's got some room. He's across the 20-yard line. And taken down at the 15, and that's another Bulldog first down.
Just another great run. We've seen this Bulldogs offense pull off a couple of times. Now into the red zone again. Let's see this if this time they can punch it in.
Yeah, that was Thomas on that one. We're going to have a penalty before the play can start. Or excuse me, there would be a timeout taken by the Cougars.
Just 5 seconds now remaining in the third quarter.
Cougars, I guess, a little shooken by the quick response by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, absolutely a quick response by the Bulldogs. And that's exactly what you want if you're them. Quiet down this crowd right away, get your confidence back, and then try to make a defensive stop. And of course, obviously, this is the opposite of what the Cougars wanted.
Yeah, scoring the first touchdown of the game. But now they're backed up to their own 15-yard line trying to play some defense.
Both teams, though, playing very solid games today. We should be in for a close one, especially as we get into the fourth quarter.
Definitely. Of course, the Bulldogs are the reigning champs in this division. That's Thomas in the backfield, and it's going to be handed off to Anderson. And the ball is out. It is recovered by the Bulldogs, but he'll be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Lewis able to recover it, and that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter.
And as we await to get set for the fourth quarter, don't forget, if you'd like to purchase all your game, another one on our hands as we get set the fourth quarter, 8 minutes to go.
And we might get a couple of games under the lights tonight. And the sun is heading down now. But we are underway to start the fourth quarter. Bulldogs with possession on the 20-yard line. And they've got themselves in a 2nd and 15. One-man send motion. And Norwood looking to throw, but he's got pressure. And was looking to take it himself, but is taken down in the backfield.
A good job by the Bulldogs defense, or the Cougars defense, I should say, breaking through that offensive line. And even though he tried to step up and make something happen, they got through and were able to hold him.
So this will make it 3rd and about 17 now for the Bulldogs. One-man send motion. Norwood looking to throw, and he's got pressure again. He's going to be sacked.
Oh, what a massive sack that is for the Cougars. And send them all the way back to the 35-yard line. And makes this just about an impossible 4th down situation. So you go from nearly tying up the game to now wondering how you're going to pick up the 1st down. And the Cougars get a lot of their confidence back with a potentially big stop right here.
Yeah, Bulldogs were able to respond so quick, but now faced with a 4th and 28. Norwood drops back, and and directing traffic, and is over the head. There's a flag down. That ball intended for Lewis.
We'll see what the call is, but if this goes against the Cougars, they'll have another shot at this and be able to be moved up a little bit, but looks like this one is going to go against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, you saw some of those Bulldog players frustrated after hearing the call, and that's going to be a turnover.
Well, now we'll get to see the Cougars offense once again. And they have a big opportunity after getting a huge stop here to try and put this game away late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was a big stop for him. The Bulldogs had some momentum there for a second, but able to come up big with the stop. And now there are 6 minutes left in the game. Leading by 6 is the Cougars. And
timeout taken by the Cougars. Want to make sure they get this drive off onto the right foot. 6 minutes to go in quarter number 4. Bulldogs need a defensive stand.
So here's the Cougars from the 34-yard line, or 33, excuse me.
I kind of think this is a make or break drive right here. Well, not make or break, but this is a drive that could change the outcome of the game.
And that ball is handed off. Still going is Kaysen, and he's got the first down.
You know, I kind of see it as if you're able to drive down and, 1, take a lot of time off the clock, and 2, potentially score, you're putting yourselves in a fantastic position. But on the flip side of it, you know, the drive stalls out, you don't score, and don't take a lot of time off the clock. You're giving the Bulldogs plenty of time to get back into this one, and they've been close a couple of times to tying things up.
Indeed they have. So here's the 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line for the Cougars. Roden would take it under center. 3 backs in the backfield. And that one handed off. And he's got some more room, and he's across the 50.
Well, this running game is just showing up right now for the Cougars as they are just running the ball down the throats of the Bulldogs right now, and they can't seem to stop it.
That'll make it 2nd and 1. Following the run there by Flowers. And we're almost halfway through the 4th quarter. Under 4:30 left.
And this is the other key for the Cougars, running that ball and just taking a lot of clock off.
I see him waiting a little bit there before he takes a snap, and he will. Hands it off to Flowers again, and Flowers got enough for the first down.
This has been just about the perfect drive for the Cougars, I think, that we've seen all game, Adam, because it's, you know, running the ball, picking up first downs, and draining that clock.
That's exactly what they're going to do. We're under 4 minutes in the game. Flowers appears to be limping off the field following that last run by him.
Hopefully he's okay. And just a little shaken up.
So this will be Kaysen again in the backfield. He'll get the carry, rounds it to the outside, and he's got a couple yards. And the Bulldogs will take a timeout.
They're going to have to start doing so with only 3:22 remaining. I'm just impressed by the Cougars' drive this time around. It's been one of the most perfect rushing attacks I think I've ever seen. Just constantly picking up 5-6 yards and then getting the first downs.
That's exactly what you want if you're the Cougars right now.
Yep. Bulldogs are going to have to come up with a stop relatively quickly if they want a chance at tying this game. You know, they've had the offense. They've been so close a couple of times. You had that one play where they went down to the 1 yard line, but they got called back because of a penalty. And in that second drive, you got all the way down to close to the goal line, but it stalled out. They've been right there, but the Cougars' defense has just been a little bit better in holding them out of the end zone, and that's the difference right now.
So here's the 2nd and 7 for the Cougars on the Bulldog 41-yard line. Bulldogs jump, but no flag. And they still run the play. Kaysen has the ball to the outside and is pushed out of bounds near the 30-yard line.
Another solid run. Does go out of bounds this time.
He does have the first down, though. And it looked like everybody was expecting a flag to be thrown for the offsides, but it wasn't. So everybody got a late start to that play.
You think about it, kind of cancels out.
Now from the 30. 3:15 left. Here's Kaysen again on the carry. He's got a hole, but is met quickly after and almost falls after a few yards. It'll be another 2nd and 7. And the Cougars putting a good drive together, ticking down on that clock. And they're close to knocking off the reigning champs. So here's Rivers in the backfield now. And Rivers will get a carry. He's up the middle and close to a first down marker, but it'll be 3rd and short.
This is just the classic saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep running it right up the middle until they can stop it. And looks like this is a water break timeout with 2:06 remaining. And this stream brought to you by Quick Cut, a better platform at a better price. Quick Cut is now videotaping for over 900 teams in the state of Florida. Quick Cut would like to thank the AYFL for choosing them to broadcast today's games. And of course, we still have 2 more to go after this one. So lots more football to be played.
And I've already had some great football all day.
Great football, great weather, great crowds. Couldn't ask for much more.
And this game coming down to it as well. Still 6-0, 2:06 left in the game. Cougars lead. 3rd and 3. Just inside the 25-yard line. And that clock is going to start rolling. Casey gets the carry again, but met in the backfield. And that'll be a 4th and 4.
Now this might be the game right here on 4th and 4. If you're able to get a stop and turn over the ball, you're going to have a limited amount of time, but you will have some time to try and get back down the field to tie this game. But if the Cougars are able to pick up the first, and you've already used multiple timeouts, so you're just about done. So I would say the game coming up here on this next play.
Indeed, probably the biggest play of the game. 4th and 4, Cougars with possession. Minute 33 left. But yeah, you said it would be a low-scoring game, and that's what it turned out to be.
And really just kind of identical to the last year's championship, except this time it's the Cougars who lead it.
Yep, Cougars a minute 30 away from knocking off the defending champs. But if they don't convert on this 4th down, they're going to give the Bulldogs a chance. Flag is down before the play.
They might have too many men.
Yeah, you see the ref counting there. And that'll back them up.
Oh, that's a very costly penalty. It makes this 4th down a lot bigger. And an easy one to avoid. And you can see the coach is not happy that that one was called on their team.
Yep. The player that was on the field is not supposed to be on the field. So here's the 4th down. Flag is down. It's going to be a false start.
All right, so we go from what, a 4th and 3 to now a 4th and 13 after 2 costly penalties. And now you're giving the Bulldogs a great chance to get back in this game. Adam, I think if I'm the Cougars, I'm still running this ball to try and knock off as much clock as possible and trusting my defense, who has been good so far today.
Yeah, definitely. Or even maybe a short punt could go their way. But it appears that the regular offense is still out there. Cason's in the backfield. Roden looking to throw. And he's looking deep. Incomplete. Flag is down.
We'll have to see what the call is, but that ball was way over the head of his intended receiver. And I think that's what the Bulldogs sideline is saying, that the ball was uncatchable. Coach is right up in the referee's face. So this one's definitely going against the Bulldogs. And another flag comes in.
Yeah, that second flag likely for what the coaches did to that referee.
I have to agree. I do think that was uncatchable. I was surprised there was an initial flag, but you can't just be up in an official's face and then not expect another penalty.
A Bulldog coaching staff is demanding an explanation for that call.
AYFL officials trying to get him back on the sidelines.
And they're going to call that pass interference on the defense.
And then an unsportsmanlike conduct against the coaching staff as well. So now this just puts you in a very, very bad situation with the Cougars deep into the red zone for the minute 20. And now another flag comes out. We've had 3 penalties since this play has ended. And it's going to go against the Bulldogs.
Now, if I had to guess here, considering the ref just randomly threw a flag in the middle of the field, one of the players might have been talking to him.
That clearly something was said down there, and that's what caused the flag. And then judging from the reaction of the Bulldog players is why I'm assuming this call is going to against them.
They're going to wave that one off.
All right, so no flag. Some of the Cougar players on the sideline already celebrating.
So after all the penalties, this will be 1st and goal for the Cougars. And Roden's just going to take a knee here. And we're under a minute 20.
With no timeouts remaining for the Bulldogs, that's going to do it. That's why they were so upset about the call, too, because they knew that was going to end the game.
And the Cougars are going to knock off the reigning champs. Under a minute left. Likely going to take one more knee. So one more play, then the Cougars are your 11U champions.
The celebration starting on the Cougars sideline already.
And that'll do it. The Cougars are your 11U champions. And a 6-0 ball game.
Hard-fought game by both these teams. And it comes down to basically one play of the game. And the Cougars team going directly over to the Bulldogs sideline. And they're letting them hear it after they knock off the defending champions.
Yeah, we said there was talking and barking before the game and some after.